Hello Virgo, this is going to be your moon reading, the lunar shift for mid-May 2020, and full moon is in Scorpio, our flower moon and last supermoon of 2020. If you are following Western astrology, then yes, it's in Scorpio. If you follow sidereal, then it is in Libra. But chances are, whatever house is in Virgo in Western astrology, it is in Leo in sidereal, and we would still be looking at your third house of communication, the mind, mental activity, learning, how you communicate, siblings, neighbors, your immediate environment. So we're looking at what you are releasing, what is shifting, and what to embrace. I'm clarifying, this is the Enchanted Map Oracle deck, and I'm clarifying with the Wildwood Tarot. At the end, I am going to pull a Wild Offering Oracle card for a message for your meditation and the messages that come through. So let's look and see what we have for you. Virgos, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We also just had a lunar node shift. It's gone from Cancer and Capricorn to Gemini and Sagittarius. More mutable sign energy for you guys. I do recommend that you look into that for yourself, find out where your nodes lie, and as well how it correlates to your rising sign. So let's look into your recent past, and also what you are being asked to release. This is Follow the Leader with the Page of Vessels. I'm immediately got something in with this as I'm getting naivete, or how they say that, a naivete, whatever. There's something that you're moving away from. I feel following others in a way that's very trusting, open, without maybe doing a bit more research or doing your own calculations in your head about where you're going, where something is going to lead. Some of you may have left a leadership position for following your heart. This is, I feel, following your heart. There may be something here that it's either you've given up some role of leadership, or there's someone who's now ready to forge their own path, or in some way you forged a new path. You followed your heart. I'm getting two. There may be a sense of releasing, someone releasing your hand, like letting go of your hand to allow you to do something on your own, but with love and with care. Like, I've showed you the way, now, making it, you have to make it happen now. Something here with that is coming to me. Some of you as well could have taken the high road in making amends with a sibling or a neighbor or someone you were in some type of misunderstanding with. Some of you may have realized that it was on you, so some of you realized it was beyond your part to either offer an apology or that olive branch. And maybe for some of you, you've gotten to a point where you're no longer taking the lead. You're in the apology, breaking the ice, or opening up the lines of communication. But some of you, it may be that there was like some loving communication that did come your way, and even some good news that gives you clarity on how you can take charge somewhere in your immediate environment or even in your community, opening your heart, being of help and of service to others, rallying others together for a plan to even do something loving and caring for someone else. So that could be something here that some of you Virgos have recently experienced. So what we have for you, what's shifting for you: heal the ouch, balance, temperance, strong healing energy with both of these cards, and patience as the process of healing is going on. So some of you are in the process of healing. Sometimes healing as well is difficult, and you will need to rely on your spiritual inner strength, your inner reserves, your own health even. There's a process of reconciliation going on here for some of you, I feel, in regards to a sibling or someone where there may have been a need for healing in your relationship or in your communication. Some of you who've taken some time out, it's going to be still a process, I feel. I feel it's going to be still, some of you, in some ways, I feel with this temperance energy that this is the process of balancing. There was another person who got this in this space here, just this card, not the heal the ouch. But I feel like some of you are working on healing your communication with someone around you in your life who's important to you, but it's still a process. There may be this sense of like you and a person is like oil and water. It's very hard for you to mix and come together, but you're making the best out of the situation. You're at least in that mode of trying or attempting to pay attention to where there has been wounds. And for some of you, you just may be in the position where I also get this as a feeling of noticing someone growing into their own sense of leadership, having the time to take a moment and pause and look and see where someone is being led. But here I feel it's really, now some of you, I'm really getting strong that it's some of you who've been that kind of bigger person to do that, take the lead in that. But if someone else has, you may still be in this point of, I'm not really sure, or I at least want peace, there to be peace and harmony restored in some way. So balance, energy, temperance, but there's still, I feel it's not an overnight thing. There's going to be a process that has to go on with this healing of a relationship. I really feel for some of you it is a sibling. For some of you it could be a younger sibling. Or it's possible that it's an older person, someone that you would follow, but maybe you are now in the space of making your own path, following your own heart again. And if following your heart is to make amends, even with people where you consider your circle, healing that energy, but realizing that it's going to still take some time for someone to come around, or even for you to get to that whole place of, okay, this is, it's balanced now, it's healing, but it still may be something's not going to go, something here where the innocence has been lost. There could have been some words said, feelings revealed, someone not knowing how they hurt another through their words or through their communications. So some of you could be making that effort, or have made that effort in the past, to get someone in alignment into how you're like your different communication styles. You know, someone could really cut really kind of hard, and someone could be really a lot more sensitive or holding back before they speak. So there's still some healing going on in the process of your immediate environment. And even if this isn't you directly in the middle, this could be you being some type of middle person, some type of mediator, in the form of, now some of you, there's been signs of things moving in a better direction. If it's a conflict around you, you may be playing a bit of that person that's in the middle, keeping things balanced. If there's two people that can't really communicate, come together and talk, and you have to be that person, that liaison, still that may be affecting you as well. So, or you need to be conscious of it, or not being pulled in the middle of others' disputes. So you may be in that point of trying to heal a connection, or even if you're like a parent and it's your children who are having some difficulty in getting along, you might be trying to work out ways to bring their differences into a way that they can coexist in peace. So peacefully trying to restore the peace or keep the peace and the connection is a process that's going on, where what you need to embrace, what's coming in. It is solitude. The Seven of Vessels is equated to mourning in this Wildwood Tarot. For what was, realizing where you stand alone. Now, some of you, I feel, this could be this sense of mentally or spiritually outgrowing a lot of either people you grew up with, or what you consider a circle, or your siblings, family. And that could be somewhere where you are realizing that you following your heart and going in your own path has maybe put you on the other side of a group, of your immediate environment, or has you more being someone who's a loner. That could be what is coming in for some of you, being in more, but solitude is not just about being alone, it is being in a reflective state. I feel for some of you, you do need to maybe take a break from where you've been. Some type of vacation, some type of solo vacation, where you can get in touch with being at peace with where things are not going to be the same with your connections, with some people, or with communication. Even if you're in that mode of healing and trying to bring opposites into a peaceful existence, there's some things that are just not meant to be, and that could be this truth and realization that you come to as you have time to think and not consider so much of where someone else is. Well, it's good to consider when you're in a compromising state, or a state where you are willing to compromise and open up to healing, that you do hear the other side. Remaining true to yourself in that process, I feel, is something that you will need to embrace. Where you thought you would be in agreement with someone, or you would always kind of see things similarly, there's a change here that's happening. And so there may be this sense of, in some matter in your life, that you do have to stand alone, or do a bit more inner reflection. And mourning is an energy, especially with this deck, that gets you in the mind frame of being thankful for what was, but realizing what is no more, and being at peace with that. However you need to find that peace is what you will be needing to embrace here with this Seven of Vessels. Very different from like the Seven of Cups energy in the traditional tarot, but I try to remain true to what each deck shows me through its imagery and its cards. But even a part of yourself that is no more. You know, again, some of you, I feel like you maybe are outgrowing, or feeling like you're not relating to the people that you once knew when you were younger, or the people that you would gel with in your immediate environment. You've realized, especially I feel in the recent past, that there still may be a little bit of mourning with that, as far as, I guess, having that connection where you do see things eye to eye. There's something here of going alone and in your own path, being true to yourself. Maybe feeling a bit left out of where people do agree. Might be something where you need to embrace, or for some of you, this is like getting away from it all to really get in touch with your own feelings and have a clear view of what's going on, and what has went on, what has gone on. So there's some reflection energy coming in here. And even as with, okay, this is communication and your mental activity, I feel in some ways there's some of you, especially creatives, that may be feeling like you want to heal a situation through some creative avenue, art, writing. I'm feeling that some of you may be needing to find a space away to do that. But be prepared for, especially if there's a reflection of something that you are, is like a labor of love, that, or, you know, telling a story or telling your side to something that heals you. Just be prepared for the resurgence of those feelings. And I'm getting to that some of you Virgos may be on the verge of feeling as if you need to talk to someone who's like a therapist. If you're not the person in mediation, if you're involved in some type of conflict and communication, then there could be this sense where you are seeking out help for that healing. We do have this kind of symbolism here. So if you've had no one to talk to, or it hasn't been so much of a safe space to express your feelings about your loss, or how your sibling relationships or immediate environments has affected you up until this point, or how you communicate with others, then this could be that sense of, you know, when you go to a therapist, you start from the beginning, get in that self-reflective mode, be ready for that feeling kind of going backwards. But there's also something in hindsight that I feel like you're going to realize. So I do feel like therapy would be, for some of you, you might have already been thinking of that. I feel like this is just that time where it will help you get some type of closure that you need. To have less confusion about the foundation of some relationships or some people that are in your life, changing or going in different directions, seeing things differently, or just feeling misunderstood. I feel some of you may start feeling like you can't relate to your siblings, or your siblings can't relate to you, or people in your immediate environment, or people you came up around, you're no longer relatable. But there's a disconnect with that I feel is affecting you and is calling you into your inner reserve, or getting some type of help in coping with growing pains of outgrowing people around you. Okay. Make it God's. Release the idea of my as soon as you start to say the money, the relationship, the job, freedom arrives. When there is no grasping, the right actions get shown. Free me from the prison of my, dear Lord. That's interesting. This is interesting because money, the relationship, the job, my money, my relationship, my job, and with communication, there could be something here where your purpose is serving a higher purpose even in the midst of your immediate environment. It's not maybe just about you, but about God's purpose for you, your higher power working through you, and being an example. And sometimes being an example is being that kind of person that is going off and following their own heart towards their own, and making their own path. It's also not just your responsibility to be making peace. You can release it and give it and give it to God in that sense as well. Again, when there's no grasping, the right actions get shown. Free me from the prison of my. Some of you may need to realize which battles are yours and which battles are just not even yours. It's not your job to get someone to see something the way you do. That's almost impossible. People are going to have their own perceptions, even if you grew up in the same family, grew up in the same environment, had the same experiences. How it affects each of you and your perceptions and your worldview and viewpoints could be very different. But it that's also what makes us human and unique, and each of our experiences um, can shape us in different ways. So I'm feeling for any of you going through any conflict, don't and don't allow someone to make you believe that it is your responsibility to fix it all. And there is no one straight solution to some of your conflicts or lack of relatability with someone around you. It's just, for some, it's just the way that is. And so I feel like for some of you, that's coming in with some way where you can step away and get into your own reflection. Some people aren't going to get along, some people aren't going to see eye to eye, but you don't have to make that an issue for you. Be careful what you're internalizing as it comes to people, especially siblings, and realize that your paths are different, and that could be a good thing. It doesn't have to necessarily be a negative. So that's your reading, Virgo. I do hope it was helpful. If you would like a personal reading from me, that information is below. I have the link for the phone readings and how you can schedule one with me, and the instructions are on the site as well. If you would like a video recorded reading, emailed reading, no time limits, you can email me at deuceofdiamondreader@gmail.com still. So I hope this was helpful for you. If it was, give me a like. If you're new, I welcome you to subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.